Hi, my name is Christy Kaiser Arizadi. I'm the director of USM's Center for Community Engagement, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about how my office works with faculty to engage them in the community and to engage their students in the community. We do a lot of different community service. The primary way that we work with faculty, though, is through academic service learning. And there's a lot of different distinctions between service learning and other forms of community engagement. So you'll hear about internships, which are related to service learning, except that sometimes they're with for-profits, and also it's usually the student who gets the most benefit out of that. Co-curricular service is whenever service is done outside of the classroom, it's not integrated into a class. It might be related to what the student's studying, but it's not integrated into a class. Whereas with academic service learning, it's inside a class, and hopefully the community organization's getting something out of it in addition to the student. So the kind of three different parts of service learning. We have relevant service. So the student can't just be doing anything and getting learning out of it. So they can't just be stocking a food pantry and learning how to do a PR campaign, right? That doesn't make sense. In terms of that enhanced academic learning, so the way that kind of works is sometimes students are working on a project for an organization. Sometimes they're placed at the organization and they're maybe observing something related to class, or maybe they're applying skills that they're learning in class to practice. And then the purposeful civic learning, so that's something that you're not going to get from inside the classroom. And so sometimes faculty choose to do that so that students can learn something that's sometimes related to professional responsibility, or they might need to learn about diverse populations, or maybe it's about citizenship. So all three of those components go together to form academic service learning. So there's lots of benefits to service learning. One of them is that it's never dull for a faculty member. But also, evidence shows that students tend to gain a deeper understanding of course content. Also, they're usually motivated to work harder in a service learning class because they're working with real people and real problems. Also, they get to apply what they're learning to real problems locally. So the city problems are state problems. And so especially if they stay in Mississippi after they graduate, that's a huge boon for our area. I wanted to introduce Vicki Reed, one of our faculty members, and she's going to tell you a little bit about some of the benefits that she saw through her service learning class.
The Community Baby Shower provides resources, educational resources, everything went from a crib to diapers. There's a lot of people that they had to engage with from various different backgrounds, and so even through reflection, one student said, I never thought someone would come to this event who had a PhD, or I didn't expect it to be so many people, and I was able to keep up with the actual speed because it was a lot of people and it was very fast moving. And so also through reflections, just some of the information that they gave back that, this experience kind of opened my eyes to needs of maternal, infant, and child health issues in the Pine Belt area.
Also, students can gain a deeper understanding of systemic issues. So when we talk about poverty, for example, they might understand the homeless person that they met and how, they didn't have an address that they couldn't put on a job application. They didn't have a shower or nice clothes that they could put on for a job interview. And then they kind of understand how mental illness or drug addiction can kind of influence the homeless person and how they've kind of ended up in that station of life. And so those systemic issues start to really come to life for them. And then also retention, that word that we all hear so much about. And service learning is a high impact practice, which means that it is related to retention. And so whenever, students are talking about these important issues that can be very personal, they are gaining closer connections to their faculty members. when they're out in the community, going off campus, learning more about our place. They're gaining those closer ties to those community, and they're learning about some of our nice restaurants and some of our cool neighborhoods and and parks, and so they're gaining those closer ties to us, and so all of that leads back to retention. And then also increased cultural competency and broadened perspectives. They're working with people that they would not normally come into contact with here on campus. And so I wanted to share with you a reflection from a student who kind of demonstrates that particular outcome.
This service learning experience has taught me that humans want to connect no matter the culture that separates us. It also helped me learn how to handle different worldviews that differ from my faith. I come from a strict Christian household, so I worried that this would hold me back from connecting with people who were against it. The book that we read in class was titled Like Vanessa, and in the story, one of the side characters was a homosexual. Honestly, I was a tad uncomfortable reading that, but I did not let that stop myself reading. I am so glad I kept reading because Like Vanessa was an amazing book. It was such a good pick for the mentees. My cultural competency was already high, yet I still grew over the course of my service learning experience.
I think we all hope that our students have aha moments like that at some point in their college career. So the primary way that we work with faculty to teach them about service learning is through our Faculty Fellows Seminar. So it meets weekly every spring, and our applications for the program will be available in October. So when faculty participate in the seminar, they get a $2,400 stipend, and that's for participating in the seminar and for offering a class that they develop while they're in the seminar. It's a service learning class, and they can either adapt a class they're already teaching, or it can be a brand new class. And throughout the seminar, they learn best practices and also get to do some pretty neat experiences. Here's one of our faculty members who will tell you a little bit about what the seminar is like.
It's just a great space where faculty can come and talk about pedagogy, exchange ideas about teaching, brainstorm ways to sort of take your teaching to the next level, make it transformative, make sure we're all operating according to best practices, make sure that we are accountable to these standards and best practices. And so it's a great space to really develop as faculty and as colleagues and build a network on campus that can take you outside of your department.
So my office is located in the hub, which is right up the stairs from Chick-fil-A. And so please feel free to stop by, to contact me by email or telephone. Best of luck this upcoming semester.